Hey everyone, how's it going? With winter coming up, I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to make an Ice Godzilla creature. So we're just going to kind of play around with this and just kind of see what we come up with. So to make our Ice Godzilla, we want to begin with the head. So I'm going to start right up here, and I'm just going to draw a line that's just going to go down and then kind of curve back up like a check mark shape. Then underneath here, I'm just going to make a little curved line that just kind of shapes out the eye. Then starting right here, I'm just going to draw a little curved line above it for the eyebrow. Then starting down here, I'm just going to draw a line that's just going to kind of go up, and then it's going to go over and then back down like this. And then I'm going to make a little line right here just to connect it. Then right here I'm just going to draw a line that goes down. It's just going to kind of curve around. And then it's just going to kind of curve up and then down right here. And that's just going to kind of form the mouth. Then right here I'm just going to draw a line that just kind of curves down. And then it's just going to go in like this. And then right here, I'm just going to make a line that just kind of curves down, and then it's going to come up here for the chin. And then a line that's just going to kind of go in, and then just kind of curve around here for the jaw. Now right here, I'm just going to make some little triangle shapes that are different sizes for the teeth. And then you just want to make a little curved line right here for the mouth. Starting back here, just make a line that kind of curves down and then comes back for the tongue. Then right here, I'm just going to make some little V shapes for the teeth. And then a little line that just kind of curves around here for the other side of the mouth. Then right up here, I'm going to make a little line that just kind of curves this way and a little line that kind of curves the other way, so we have the nose. Then starting right here, I'm just going to draw a line. It's just going to kind of curve down like this for the neck. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here for the bottom of the neck. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little line that kind of goes around. It's just going to kind of form the tail. But I'm going to leave lots of little spaces in between here. So as I draw this, I'm just going to make, it's kind of like a broken line. And it's just going to kind of come down like this. And then I'm just going to start right here and I'm going to draw a line. It's just going to kind of curve up. And then it's going to kind of come back here for the tail. Then I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the end, and I'm just going to draw a line that's just going to come back. It's going to start out skinny, and then it's going to get bigger and bigger as it comes back here towards the body. And now, starting right here, we want to make the arms. So right about here, I'm just going to draw a line that's just going to kind of curve like this. And then a line right here that's just going to kind of curve down. Then I'm just going to draw a little line that kind of curves around for one of his claws. Another one right here. And then another small one right here and just kind of curve it around for the hand. Then right here I'm just going to draw a line that just kind of goes out and then it's just going to curve around like this for the arm. Then starting right here, I'm just going to draw a line that's going to go down, and that's just going to kind of curve around here. And then I'm just going to draw a little bit of the line right to about here. Now we want to put his leg in here. So starting right here, I'm just going to draw a line that's just going to kind of come down, and then it's just going to kind of curve back like this. I'm going to make a little line that just kind of curves down and then comes back for one of his claws. And then I'm going to put another one right here for one of his other toes. Then I just want to make a line that's just going to kind of curve up like this. Then I'm just going to kind of curve it in. And then draw a line that just kind of curves around here. And then just kind of figure out where this line is, kind of hover your pen or pencil over it, and then just connect it right here for the tail. Then starting right here, I'm just going to draw another line that's just going to come out, and then it's going to go down here. I'm going to make these toes a little bit higher up and a little bit smaller so that we see they're a little bit farther away. And then just put another one right here. And then I'm just going to draw it right over here and then just kind of bring it up like that. Then over here, I'm just going to draw another line that just kind of comes out. It's going to kind of curve like this for one of his claws. Then I'm just going to add another one here, and then one right here. Then I'm just going to kind of curve this in to finish off the arm. Okay, so we have our basic shape of him down. Now we want to add some of the details. And the first detail I'm going to start off with are going to be all of his spikes. So like I said, we want this to kind of be like an Ice Godzilla type creature. So I left all these spaces in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make some little jagged points like this, kind of like they're little triangles. And I'm going to make these all in these different little spaces that I left open. And I'm doing this so they kind of almost look like icicles that are kind of going the opposite way. And I'm just going to kind of fill in all these little spaces with them. Some of them I make them pointy, some of them I have little like cracks and stuff in them. And just kind of make them different sizes and go right to about there. The reason we left those spaces is just so we could kind of fit these in there and make it look like they were in front of this line of his body. Then I'm going to start in some of these spaces adding a few more of these kind of spikes. Just different sizes, just kind of fill in some of these empty spaces. Put some up going up here too. And then what I want to do is right behind here is I want to start adding some really tall ones that are kind of different sizes. We want these to kind of look like icicles that are just kind of pointing up. And this is just going to kind of help us give him this kind of ice creature look. And just kind of keep all these behind him. Like I said, make them different sizes. And then just as you get towards the tail, you want these to kind of start getting smaller and smaller. And then you can kind of start putting them around the tail. I'm just going to make some little small ones kind of going down the tail first. Kind of just like you're making little triangular shapes. And then I'm going to put a few kind of behind here. Not behind every single one, but just a few of them. And then I might even come in here and add a few more, just kind of pointing out from the back. And then I'm just going to continue some of these going right up here. I'm going to kind of start curving some of them, just like that. Okay, so now we want to start adding some more of these details. So I'm just going to add some little curved lines on each of these claws, just so we can see where the claws are. And then I'm just going to add some of these extra little lines on here, just so it looks like they're actually sitting in there. Same thing on these, right down here on the toes. I'm going to add some little kind of curved lines right around the arms here. This is just going to kind of help it look like the arms and legs are kind of sitting in there, just some little wrinkles of skin around there. Then I'm going to add a couple little kind of curved lines going around his neck too. Make some of them kind of broken lines. Gonna add some little kind of like lines around his mouth, show where his lips are. And then I'm just gonna kind of add some of these little kind of like triangular shapes like this kind of all around the body. Just so it kind of looks like there are a few more little like ice crystals and little like ice spikes kind of sticking out of them. Just gonna kind of put these all over in just different spots. I also want some of these to kind of be on his arm too, so I'm just going to draw some of these kind of going all around his arm, kind of behind there too. Put some kind of going on the forearm too, want them down here as well. And then I'm going to put a few on his legs as well, not a ton, but just a few of them. And kind of put them on this side too. Just so it looks like he's got a lot of ice kind of covering him. And then you're going to want to add quite a few onto the tail. Just kind of make these little triangular shapes kind of going all the way down in different spots. If they're all perfectly lined up, then it's just going to look too cartoony. And then kind of fill in some like the open spaces. Then I'm going to add a couple little lines kind of underneath his eyes. And then a couple little lines kind of around it, just show some wrinkles. Then just kind of add some extra little lines on here. And then I'm just going to kind of do the same thing, just lots of little lines all around his body. Some little curved lines kind of up and down around here. This just kind of helps show the curve of his arms. Same thing down here. And then even on these legs, just some kind of like little curved lines kind of going up and around. Do them on the top and the bottom. And then just some lines that just kind of go around his body. And this just kind of shows the shape of his legs. Put some extra little lines on his hands. It's kind of hard to put a lot of lines down here just because we have all these little spikes, but just kind of do the best you can. Now on the tail, I'm going to make some of these really big kind of curved lines. I'm going to make some of them little broken lines too, just so we have some little details going down his tail. And then I'm just going to put a nice little kind of wavy broken line going all the way down. I'm going to draw a nice little kind of broken line down here and then some big curved lines. Just to kind of show he's got like some big scale patterns on his stomach. And then I'm going to draw this little kind of squiggly line around here just so we can do like some different colors on his back and his stomach. And then right here on the tail, I left it open, kind of like how that Space Godzilla has those crystals. I'm just going to add some kind of like little pointed lines on the end, just so it kind of looks like he's got some little icicle shapes at the end. Then I'm just going to add some little kind of extra lines coming up here. And I like to keep these like really broken looking just so that it gives it a little bit more of like an ice feel. And you're just going to kind of do this going all the way up. I'm keeping these lines really thin too. And you can do this on all of these. It's kind of hard to do it on a lot of these smaller ones, so just get like a few of them, especially the ones in front. You can always just put like one little line on it. And then you got to get these here in the front too. And just kind of throw little lines on there. If you have too many lines, they're going to start kind of getting kind of filled in. And then after I have some lines going on this way, I'm just going to kind of make some little curved broken lines going around it, just so we can see that these things are kind of rounded We don't want them to be real flat. Godzilla spikes are usually really flat. We want these to be kind of like a rounded shape. So I'm just going to kind of add these all around here. And then it's kind of hard to get all these little ones. I can definitely do some on the tail. So just like that. And then some final things, you can always add some extra little lines kind of going down his tail, just to add a little bit more detail. But there you go, there's lots of things you guys could do this to kind of make it your own. You could add more ice spikes and different things. Kind of be creative, do whatever you want to. But this is my little version of the IceZilla, Ice Godzilla monster, however you want to call it. So I'm going to fast forward and start coloring this. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.